You heard it here first and last, right? There is no HIPAA certification.
I asked him to specifically make sure we covered that because I've had a lot of clients or prospective clients call me and say, we'd like to be HIPAA certified. And again, just because I thought maybe I was losing my mind, it was one of those moments where I thought to myself, now I'm certain there's no such thing as a HIPAA certification, but I got right back on messaging and was like, Joe, stupid question. And I'm sure I know the answer, but there really is no HIPAA certification, is there? I'm not being gaslit or anything. I'm right. And
No,
Joe was
you're
like,
right. Now,
yeah.
it doesn't mean, we should talk a minute about what does it mean to be certified? That means there's some organization like ISO 27001 or High Trust. They have these top level organizations where people across the world agree what it means. And then they hold auditors accountable to being able to audit to the level that they say. And everybody agrees that the audit's going to be conducted in a certain way. And now they can put their stamp of approval on it and call it certified. But at the same time, the three of us could create the compliance deconstructed HIPAA certification if we want. It's only as strong as anybody trusts us to write a certification, but we could give them print them out a certificate using Microsoft Word that says HIPAA certified, and they can hand it out to as many people as they want. And so long the people they give it to actually care that the three of us said it's done right, well, then it has all the credibility it could have based on people's trust in us. So people trust, high trust. People trust the governing bodies for ISO, and so a certification from them holds weight. But they don't know who we are globally, so it may not hold the same weight if we said, "Oh, we certify you as HIPAA," because nobody has, kind of made that a global standard.
Well, but also I'd say that, you have to understand what certification means. Certification does not mean that you will not have a breach. That is not what it means. It does not mean that you have insulated yourself from any kind of HIPAA violation. That's just not the way it works. Any certification, whether it's high trust or an ISO, it really looks at your controls at a moment in time and how they're working, right? And it can include HIPAA, and that's fine. But the people that call me are looking for a certification that will suggest they can't possibly have a breach. That is just not how it works. You can have controls in place, but if somebody makes a mistake, or if you have a particularly, vigilant bad actor that finds a way of getting into your systems. I mean, things happen, and there's so much about HIPAA, just like any other regulation, that is about people and people's actions and the consequences of people's actions. That it's not just a system where you can say, yeah, we have an IT system and we can make sure that it's completely locked down. Well, we can't lock down people in that same way. And if you did, then you couldn't exist as a business, right?
Oh,
So when people call
absolutely.
me and say HIPAA certification, and they're expecting to be able to come out and say we're foolproof, we're HIPAA, we're breach proof. That's not possible. There's a fundamental misunderstanding of what any certification will do, let alone whatever they want to call a HIPAA certification. It doesn't exist, but it couldn't necessarily exist anyway in the way that they're thinking.
Yeah, there is no such thing as perfect security. But in your experience, when HHS OCR comes knocking on the door, have you seen that they give companies maybe a better treatment if they can demonstrate that they went through the effort to do all the expectations? They have policies, they built their policies to control the risk from a risk assessment, and they're basically meeting all the fundamentals, but anybody can be a victim of a security breach. How, in your experience, have you seen regulators treat companies that can demonstrate they've taken the steps versus those who have totally taken no action?
Lori, have you? I mean, I've had some experience with that. Have you?
Yeah, Joe, I'm glad you brought that up. It really comes to two different points, right? In external audit and in Medicaid space or CHIP or even in ACA, that can be required as part of being a managed care entity. But if you have an infraction or you've got a data breach, they look at it, oh, what kind of preventative steps did you take? Did you have the SOC 2? Did you have HIPAA? Did you have high trust? Did you do everything you could have done to prevent this? And that can really matter when it comes to fines and sanctions as well.
And I've seen some situations where a regulatory body or an auditor might say, oh, well, you're high trust certified. I mean, I hate to pick on one accreditation standard, but this has been my experience, however it is. But I have seen auditors and regulators go, oh, you're high trust certified. Okay, like we'll accept that in lieu of auditing your HIPAA program.